Palantir continues to shock everyone. Price continued to soar, reaching a whopping $115. However, something happened that made bears come out. Investors are a bit skeptical. Insane $134 billion down to $23 billion is crazy. However, Donald Trump and Elon Musk stepped in and announced huge bombshells that will benefit Palantir big time. What is happening? And what on earth am I even talking about? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. Everyone's feeling a mix of emotions today because Palantir just went absolutely crazy. The stock kept climbing higher and higher, and at one point, it hit a mind-blowing $115 per share. Yeah, $115. People were glued to their screens, not believing what they were seeing. Is this the beginning of that dream rally everyone's been hoping for? Could this turn into another GameStop moment? Some are convinced it's just getting started and that there's way more room to run. And honestly, the hype is real. The energy online is electric. One Twitter analyst perfectly summed up the mood. Up 35% this week, over 400% in the past year. Retail traders and big institutions are jumping in, saying this thing still has legs. But of course, not everyone's buying into the hype. While some are celebrating, others are sounding the alarm, saying this whole thing is nothing but a massive bubble waiting to pop. The excitement? Irrational. The rally? Unsustainable. One Twitter user even went as far as calling it the biggest bubble he's ever seen. And they're not alone. Plenty of skeptics are stepping in, saying this kind of price action never ends well. To them, it's not a question of if it crashes, but when. So, is this truly the beginning of something huge? Or just another bubble inflating before the inevitable pop? And just like that, Palantir cooled off. After that insane run, the stock corrected itself, settling around $110 per share. And of course, the bears wasted no time jumping on this, using it as proof that the hype was just temporary. One Twitter analyst summed it up perfectly. Looks like someone is tired. Nothing can be pumped forever. When the tide turns, retail will be taking off like rats in a sinking ship. Harsh? Maybe. But they've got a point. After all that crazy volume, why did the price suddenly pull back? Was it just a breather, or was this the first sign of momentum fading? Right now, Palantir is at a crossroads. The excitement is still there, but so are the doubts. Bulls think this is just a healthy dip before the next leg up. Bears think the cracks are already showing. So who's right? Some skeptics are even comparing Palantir's surge to other stocks that have taken a nosedive from grace. They point out one company that once boasted a massive $134 billion market cap, only to crash down to a mere $23 billion. Their message? If it happened to them, it could easily happen to Palantir too. According to these critics, Palantir's stock could just be following the same dangerous path, soaring high on excitement, only to come crashing back to reality. But hold on, what's actually going on here? Who's behind these wild price swings? And why did Palantir suddenly dip when it was clearly on a rocket ride up? Well, let's zoom out for a second. It turns out Donald Trump is right at the center of it all. His latest moves, especially around tariffs, are shaking up the market in a big way. And somehow, Palantir has found itself caught right in the middle of the chaos. It's not just Palantir feeling the heat. The entire market took a hit. On Friday, U.S. stocks slid hard as Wall Street started worrying again about tariffs and inflation. The S&P 500 dropped 0.9%, wiping out what was supposed to be a decent week. The Dow Jones sank 444 points, and the Nasdaq, dragged down by Amazon's rough earnings report, fell even harder at 1.4%. Treasury yields also jumped after a report from the University of Michigan showed that consumer sentiment is tanking. People are now expecting inflation to hit 4.3% in the next year, the highest level since 2023. That's a big shift from last month, and experts are pointing to Trump's proposed tariffs on imported goods as the main reason behind it. So, why is Palantir getting caught up in all of this? Well, AI stocks thrive on optimism. They're priced for the future, and when people start worrying about higher costs, slowing growth, and a shaky economy, these kinds of stocks tend to take a hit first. Investors see uncertainty, and they start pulling back. But here's the catch. None of this might even matter in the long run. Despite all the short-term noise, something huge just dropped that could set Palantir up for massive future gains. And it involves Donald Trump and Elon Musk. One Twitter analyst pointed out a key moment where Trump announced that he wants Musk, and even Doge, to take a deep dive into the spending budgets for the Department of Education and the Pentagon. Trump didn't hold back, saying, "We're talking about trillions of dollars being absolutely wasted, We've already found tremendous corruption. This could be the start of something huge. Trump is out here saying he wants Elon Musk and Doge to look into government spending, which already sounds wild. But then you add Palantir to the mix, and things get even crazier. Palantir is literally built for this kind of thing. Their whole business revolves around digging through massive amounts of data, spotting inefficiencies, and exposing waste. If Trump actually follows through with this plan, there's no better company to help Musk figure out where all the money is going. And the fact that Musk has recently been hyping up Alex Karp, Palantir's CEO, makes this even more interesting. It wouldn't be surprising if these two ended up working together on this. Now, what about Doge? On the surface, it sounds like a joke, but Musk has been pushing the idea of blockchain for transparency for a while. Imagine a system where every dollar the government spends is logged on-chain for the public to see. Whether that involves Doge directly or just the general idea of blockchain, it's something Musk could absolutely push for. Of course, not everyone's going to be happy about this. The Pentagon and Department of Education deal with trillions in funding, and there are plenty of people who don't want too many questions being asked about where that money actually goes. If Musk, Karp, and Trump go all in on exposing waste and corruption, expect serious pushback. But if this actually happens, Palantir's stock is probably going to the moon. Musk's influence in government will grow even more. And Doge might just become part of something much bigger than anyone expected. And on top of that, one analyst pointed out the #1 reason why Palantir could keep skyrocketing, no matter what's happening in the market. It all comes down to something called the Rule of 40. Now, if you're not familiar, this is a key metric for software companies. It measures how well a company is balancing growth and profitability. The magic number? 40% or higher. Hit that, and you're considered a strong company. Well, Palantir didn't just hit 40%. It crushed it. Their latest Rule of 40 score? 81%. That's insane. Even their CEO, Alex Karp, called it one of their biggest achievements. To put that in perspective, a study from McKinsey found that most software companies struggle to even reach 40%. In fact, companies only manage to surpass it 16% of the time. But Palantir? They've been smashing past it every single quarter. And this is exactly why analysts are saying there's way more room to run. Palantir's stock already soared 340% last year. But when a company is growing this fast while still staying profitable, that's a recipe for long-term success. Even if the market gets choppy, Palantir has built up enough momentum to keep pushing forward. So yeah, people can argue about bubbles, corrections, and tariffs all they want. But numbers like this don't lie. And just like we've seen time and time again, this is just another chapter in Palantir's wild journey. One analyst summed it up perfectly, breaking down how the skeptics have always been wrong. According to him, when Palantir was trading low, they said it would crash. When it climbed higher, they doubted the momentum. At every stage, $20, $50, $80, $100, people kept calling for a pullback, a top, a bubble. Yet the stock just kept pushing forward. Even now, with all the back and forth, the same cycle is playing out. Bears are predicting doom, while the market keeps proving them wrong. Palantir's growth isn't just about hype. It's about real-world impact, contracts, AI dominance, and government deals that are reshaping industries. So, is this the top? A bubble? Or just another stepping stone on the way to something bigger? If history tells us anything, it's that betting against Palantir hasn't worked out so well. At the end of the day, Palantir has seen doubts before, and it's always pushed through. The market will do its thing, the skeptics will talk, but the bigger picture, Palantir keeps proving itself. Whether this is just a pit stop or the start of something even bigger, one thing's clear. The story isn't over yet. But what is your opinion on this? Comment down below. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on the screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then turn on the notifications bell on this channel. Missing an important Palantir update might make you lose money. So don't risk it. Also, please share this video with as many people as possible. Let's get this news out there.